I didn't sleep. I sat on the living room floor till morning, wrapped in silence and shame. Daniel didn't come home that night. By the noon the next day, the clinic called. The result was ready. I wanted to ignore it, tear my phone into two, vanish from the earth. But I had to know. I walked into the clinic like a prisoner walking to the gallows. My hands shook as I signed the paper. Dr. Benson was already seated, the envelope in his hands. He looked at me gently. Mrs. Daniels, are you ready? No, I whispered, but give it to me. He handed the results. My eyes scanned the documents line by line until I reached the line that shattered everything I thought I knew. Paternity inclusion, 99.98% probability that Mr. Daniel Daniels is the biological father of the twins. My hands went numb. What? I whispered, looking up in confusion. No, that's not possible. Dr. Benson nodded. The test confirms Mr. Daniel is the biological father of both boys. Do you? What a moment. I wanted to scream, laugh, cry, jump, collapse. Daniel is the father. But how? The man from that night. He had the same features, the dimples, the nose, the... Wait, oh my God, could this be... Could I have mistaken a resemblance for reality? I staggered out of the clinic, the paper pressed in my chest like a lifeline. I called Daniel. He didn't pick. I called again. Finally he answered, his voice cold. What do you want? Daniel, I just came from the clinic. Silence. The twins are yours, I said, sobbing. You are their father. The DNA test result says 99.98% inclusion. More silence. Then a quiet exhale. What are you saying? I was wrong, Daniel. I judged myself too quickly. I assumed. I thought it was the other guy. But it is you. It has always been you. He ended the call. I sat on the roadside, crying like a mad woman. Later that evening, I heard the door open. I rushed out. It was Daniel. He looked drained, conflicted. Did you bring the result? He asked. I handed it to him. He stared at it for a long time. Then he looked at me with tired eyes. Even if the twins are mine, you still cheated. You still lied. You were going to let me walk away from children that were actually mine. I fell to my knees. Daniel, please, I was broken, lost. I didn't trust God. I didn't even trust you. But I've suffered every day since then. He crouched beside me. I love those boys, but I don't know if I'll ever trust you again. He stood. You have 1 week, Isabel. 1 week to prove I still have a reason to fight for this marriage. Otherwise, I will walk away. Then he left me there, on the cold tiles, holding a result that should have been my salvation, but now felt like the beginning of another trial. 1 week, 7 days. That's all I have to fight for my marriage, for my children's father, for the only man I had ever loved. I didn't know how to prove I was worth keeping when I was the one who shattered everything. The betrayal, the lies, even though Daniel was the biological father of the twins, he didn't erase the fact that I had betrayed him, body, mind, and soul. But I wasn't going down without a fight. The next morning, I woke up before dawn, cooked his breakfast, packed his lunch, wrote a note. Thank you for being their father before the test proved it. I will spend every day showing you I still believe in us. Isabel. He didn't say anything when he came downstairs. He ate quietly and left without a word. But he didn't throw the note away. That was something. Day 2. I went to his mother's house. She opened the door, eyeing me with the same suspicion and dislike she always wore like perfume. What are you doing here? Mama, I just want to say I am sorry, I said, kneeling, for everything. I wasn't perfect. I made mistakes. But your son is a good man. He deserves peace. She folded her arms, surprised. Peace? You didn't think of that when you were opening your legs to another man, did you? Tears rushed to my eyes. I didn't defend myself. She watched me crumble, then sighed. Daniel told me about the DNA test. You're lucky. But lucky doesn't mean you're forgiven. I know, I whispered. She shook her head. Do better. Day 3, I took the twins to Daniel's office as a surprise. I dressed them in a matching shirt that read Daddy's DNA, double trouble. His secretary smiled when she saw them. She buzzed on us. He looked up, confused, then amused. Wow, he chuckled. What is this? Just wanted to remind you who you are, I said, holding one twin while the other waddled towards him. Daniel picked up the child, his expression softening for a moment. Then he hardened again. You're doing the most, Isabel. I will do the impossible if I have to, I said. I will keep showing up every day until you either forgive me or walk away for good. Day 4, I wrote him a letter, 7 pages long. I poured out my heart, the fear, the shame, the loneliness I never voiced, my judgment, my very identity. I left the letter on his pillow. That night, I found it open, but unread. Day 5, he didn't come home. No message, no call. Day 6, Daniel still hadn't spoken to me. I found the pages folded carefully on the table. That gave me hope. Day 7, my final day to prove myself. After dinner that night, the twins had gone to bed. He took my hand. I read your letter again, every word, and I hated you for putting us here. But I hated myself more for not seeing how much you were dying inside. Daniel, he kissed my hand. I don't know how to erase what happened, Isabel, but I know I still love you. And I love those boys more than my own life. If you're willing to fight, then so I am. I broke down. And for the first time in a long while, I felt something stronger than guilt. Hope. I cut off every toxic friend, including Tina. She begged, cried, even tried to lie again. But I was done. Our teens are growing fast, strong, happy, just like us. One night, Daniel held me close and said, I forgive you, Isabel, not because you deserve it, but because I need to heal. And in his arms I whispered, thank you. I will spend forever being worthy of it. 5 years later, we now have 4 children, 2 twins, and 2 more surprises. A baby girl named Grace and her brother, Nathaniel. Daniel and I speak at marriage seminars now. Our story, an ugly, honest, redemptive tale that reminds couples that failure doesn't have to be the final. Every time someone says you're lucky he forgave you, I smile. Because it wasn't luck. It was a man who chose love and a woman who chose truth, even when it cost her everything. Because sometimes healing starts with a confession and the courage to live with the consequences.